Hey smugglings, what is happening? This is going to be the review for Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, and this was directed by Irvin Kershner and stars Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Billy D. Williams, Anthony Daniels and David Prowse. And this film begins after the destruction of the first Death Star, where the Imperials are desperate to put an end to the rebellion's efforts, and the rebels are defeated on the ice planet of Hoth, and Luke goes to Dagobah to train with Yoda, who is hiding, and Darth Vader tries to lure Luke to Cloud City of Bespin in order to convert him to the dark side. And this film is obviously much anticipated after the release of the original Star Wars, which was an unprecedented success at the time, the biggest movie ever made at the time, and loads of people were looking forward to the sequel. And it is a film that is now considered to be one of the greatest sequels of all time and one of the greatest films of all time. And I do have to say that this is going to be quite controversial, but I don't consider it to be my favourite Star Wars film or one of the greatest films of all time. But I think it's a really good and strong film, and I did enjoy seeing it again. And I'm going to go into my thoughts of the film right now. And one of the biggest strengths of this film is the way that the characters develop. I loved seeing Leia and Han's relationship develop. It's one of the highlights of the film, seeing their relationship blossom and their romance go through the motions, and we get to see them get to a place where they really start to love each other. And I think that's really great. And you get to see Luke and Yoda develop their relationship, and you get to see him train with a great Jedi Master. And you also see the communication between Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, and spoiler alert, we know that they are father and son, and we get to see that manifested visually, and the way they sort of communicate through the Force within this film, and it's done quite sparingly, and it's very special. And I love the communication between different people with the Force. It's really good, and I really did enjoy seeing that. And I have to say, one of the most impressive sequences of this film is the Battle of Hoth, the battle between the Rebellion and the Empire, and I loved seeing that. It was really jaw-dropping to see, quite honestly. It's a massive planetary conflict for the first time in Star Wars, and it's really great to see. We obviously saw the space battle in the original Star Wars, but we see the first planetary conflict on the ground between two different factions, and I thought that was really impressive to see. And I really did enjoy seeing that. And I have to say again that the dialogue is really good. It is really good here. I know a lot of it is improvised. It's not always what is exactly written on the page, but the writing and the acting is really good with all the cast members, and it's really enjoyable to see. And they clearly have a lot of chemistry with each other. It's awesome to see that manifested within this film. And I do find this film narratively a little deficient. And what I mean by that is that there's not really much going on. We have Luke training with Yoda on Dagobah, and then we have Han, Leia, Chewie and the droids trying to escape from the Empire. And that's really all there is until the final act of the film, where they come together on Cloud City. And I wanted to see more of the Rebellion and their efforts, because we see a lot of the Empire. We see quite a lot of Darth Vader in his daily routine and what he does day to day, but we don't really see much of the Rebellion and what they do once they are escaping the ice planet of Hoth. And I would have loved to have seen more of that, quite honestly. That's my biggest issue with the film. I think it is narratively quite deficient. There's not really much going on with the film, and I wanted to have a little bit more. And say what you will about the prequels, but they are narratively dense. There's always a lot going on within the films, and there's nothing wrong with there not being density within the narrative, but I think it's got to be a little bit more interesting than what we see. But that is the case with that. That will be an unpopular opinion, and that is completely fine. It's just what I thought whilst I was watching it, but like I said, I still think it's a really good film. I really enjoyed watching it. And one of the things I love the most about this film is that we get to see the hero's journey of Luke Skywalker, and we get to see him submerge himself within his subconscious, and we also see that he has to go within the cave as he does within Joseph Campbell's narrative template, and we see what is actually happening there, and he has to metaphorically kill his father to become a new man, and he has to become a better man and a true Jedi. And I loved seeing his journey and his training on Dagobah. I thought it was really interesting to see, and that was really good. And we get the introduction of a lot of great characters. We get the introduction of Lando Calrissian and Boba Fett within the film, which is really good, and obviously the introduction of Yoda as a character, and I loved seeing that. That was really great to see. And I did enjoy my time on Cloud City as well. I thought that was a really good planet and a really great setting, and I did enjoy the duel, which has become very iconic. The duel between Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker I thought was really great, and I really loved seeing that. It's very iconic, very visually stunning duel with the contrast of the red and blue within the plumes of smoke. I thought it was really striking to see, and it's hard to see the twist that this film is very famous for now, because we all know it. We all know that Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father, so I'm not able to put myself in the shoes where I didn't know that, because I don't really remember a time where I didn't know that. And that is the blessing with having family that are big Star Wars fans. My uncles and my dad were massive Star Wars fans, so I always knew everything about Star Wars since I was a young kid, so a lot of it didn't really come as a surprise to me. And it's not something that I'm sad about, obviously, because I had all this knowledge when I was a kid about it, but I never knew a time where I didn't know that Darth Vader was Luke Skywalker's father. Like, as I said, because my parents and my uncles told that to me when I was a kid. They spoiled it for me, how could they? But they told it to me, and I'm completely fine with that. That is the case with that. And it is really great to see the way that this film ends, because it is very dire. The circumstances are quite dire within this film, because Luke has lost his arm, we've lost Han, and he's been taken to Tatooine, and a rescue mission has to be mounted. And it looks as though the rebellion is on its last foot. It is in dire straits and very weak at this point. And we also see the Empire constructing a new Death Star to be even more powerful than the last, and it was interesting to see that as well. But I don't think this is one of the greatest films ever made, but I think it's really good. I much prefer A New Hope and Return of the Jedi. I think they are stronger films personally, but I appreciate that people really adore this film, and I'm on the threshold of adoring it. I really like it, and I'm almost at the point of adoring it, but I think I'm not quite there. But I really enjoyed my time watching Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I think it's a really strong film, and it is very solid, but I think it's just lacking narratively. I don't think there's really much going on within this film, and the appeal, I believe, is the dire straits that the film ends on. I think that is very unique for serialized storytelling to end in such a dour way, and it does make you really excited to see Return of the Jedi, and I got to give it a lot of credit for that. But that is my review for Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, guys. What did you think of the film? Let me know in your comments down below. I really appreciate you. I'm going to be doing my review of Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, after this as well. I got a lot of videos coming up, so please look forward to that. Got a lot of good stuff going on this channel. And I'm also wearing my Shadow of the Colossus shirt that I got from the lovely Lady Robin Hood, so go check her out on YouTube. very awesome channel, and I'm gonna leave it there for now, Smugglings. But I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you soon. So you guys take care, and I will catch you soon.